Hello my dear student, I am Sandeep Kumar Maurya, PGT English from Sukhdeep Global Academy, Itawa. Today I will teach you poem number 3, Keeping Quiet, from your book Flamingo. Through this lesson, we will be discuss about the poet, introduction, theme, central idea, rhyming scheme, line by line explanation with poetic devices, and at last we will be discuss the moral message of the poem. Now, according to the mention your topic, so first of all we will be discuss about the poem Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda his real name is Neftali Ricardo Reis Baseldo. It is his real name of the Pablo Neruda, and Pablo Neruda was born on 12th July 1904 and passed away from 23rd September 23rd September 1973. Pablo Neruda was the pen name, and later the legal name of this poem is Chilean diplomat and politician. He won the Nobel Prize for the literature in the year 71. In the year 1971, he always used green ink. He wrote in green ink, which was his personal symbol of and peace and silence. At peace and silence. His writings are very simple. His writings are simple, wherein lies their beauty. And after that, we will be discuss introduction of the lesson. If you want to take a screenshot of the lesson, then you can it. And after that, once again, I repeated about the famous poet Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda was a Chilean poet, diplomat, politician. Pablo Neruda is the pen name, and his real name was Neftali Ricardo Riaz Basalto. He was born on 12th July 1904 and passed away from 23rd September 1973. He won the Nobel Prize for the literature in the year 1971. He wrote in green pen, which was his personal symbol for desire and peace. His writings are very simple, lies their beauty. And now we will be discuss about the introduction of the poem. Okay, introduction of the poem, keeping quiet. Okay, through these pictures we can understand the theme and also we can introduce the poem. Here are some pictures who describes about the poem, just like desire and hope, environmental damage, peace and harmony, and also maintaining the silence and harmony. The poem Keeping Quiet is originally written in Spanish. The essence of the poem is based on the introspection and introspection introspection and retrospection. Introspection and retrospection. The poet feels that some soul searching is needed for us to be at peace and maintain ourselves and others. The poem Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda, discusses the need of the maintaining silence and peace. He stresses upon being quiet and harness to be human beings, animals, and environment. He suggests that to order maintain peace and harmony, it is required to stop and introspection ourselves. Okay, now your introduction have finished. Let us start the theme of the poem Keeping Quiet. The basic theme of the poem is introspection and retrospection. But regarding to this poem, Pablo Neruda, it is basically an anti-war poem. It is basically anti-war poem. The poet deeply concerned. The poet deeply concerned about violence, cruelty to animals, and plight of manual workers and plight of manual workers. And also the poet offers some very simple suggestion. The poet offers very simple solution solution. The poet offers very simple solution to many our social political and religious problems. And also at last the poet gives us a solution. The solution is very simple. The solution is self-introspection. The solution is self introspection. Okay, once again I am repeating this theme of the poem. The poet it is basically an anti-war poem. The poet deeply concerned about violence, cruelty to animals and plight of manual workers. The poet offers very simple solution to many of our social, political and religious problems. The solution is also very simple. The solution is self-introspection. Now, the theme of the poem is completed. Now, we will talk about the rhyme scheme of the. Okay. Now, I will talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. The poem Keeping Quiet does not follow any rhyme scheme. The poem has 7 stanzas, each containing varying length, the line in stanzas do not rhyme. Poetry that does not rhyme or rhythm is called free verse. The poem keeping quiet does not follow any rhyme scheme. The whole poem is in the form of free verse because the containing line of the poem is in the enjambment form. There have no proper punctuation mark, so it is not follow any rhyme scheme. It is totally in free verse. Okay, my dear students. Now the rhyme scheme have finished. Let us start the explanation without wasting time. Okay. Now I will be start stanza number first. Your poem keeping quiet. Now we will be count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Now, first of all, we will find the difficult word through the stanzas. Here, the word count. Count means say numbers, and 12. Generally, you know about the 12. It is the number of your digit and mathematics 12. But here the sense of different the word 12. The word 12 means month of the year or 12 hours of the day. Still, quiet and stillness, face on the earth, that means surface. And I hope now the difficult word meanings in this stanza. So now I am explaining first of all, and after that we will find the poetic devices through in these lines of the poem. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. In the opening lines of the poem, poet Pablo Neruda requests to all of and he urged from to each other, in your mind count to 12 without any activity. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. The poet asked to everyone count up to 12 in their mind. The number 12 here represents 12 hours of the day or month of the year. He wants us to calm and still people across the nation, so they shall not speak their own language. Rather they all shall keep still and the language of silence. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. This will bring unite all the human beings on the face of the earth. For at least one moment no one shall move his arms. Here the arms they represent dual meaning. No one shall move arm either to signal or to fight or argue to each other. Okay. Now we will find the poetic device of the poem. Here the word be will. In these two words, the consonant sound is repeated. The when in the same line of the poem there are two different words, but the first letter of the word is produce the consonant sound. There is the poetic device used alliteration. Alliteration. And also face on the earth. Here the poetic device is personification. Personification is used because the poet is imagining just the stillness and quiet. And also when two consecutive lines start with the same word, there is we use the poetic device anaphora. Here the word let's it is used in two different lines with the same words. And arms. So when any words they give the dual meaning of the word, there the poetic device pun is used. Okay. So that is the poetic devices. Okay. Now you can take a screenshot of it. Your first stage is completed. Okay. Now I am going to explain. Stanza number 2. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without injuries. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fisherman in the cold sea would not harm waves, and the man gathering sword would look at his hands. Okay, just like your previous stanza, here we will be also find the different word meaning. Exotic, unusual. Moment, a short period of time. Rush, engines, machine. Sudden, at once. Strangeness, unusual, surprising. And I hope no other word meaning in this stranger. Okay, now I am going to explain when everything will come to stand still. It will be a very rare situation. There is no one will be in rush. There will be no engines working. Everyone will be calm and stand still. With each other, the sudden strangeness in a strange atmosphere it will be created. It will be a strange because it has never happened earlier. No person would be harming any other living being, either food to earn his livelihood. All the people work endlessly will get some time to look to their injuries and the damage they cause to the human body. Here, the poet, fishermen in the cold sea, would not harm whales. Here the poet, through the whales, they represent the animals and address through the fishermen who depend on the animals regarding the trade and food. And the man gathering salt address that people, they don't think about his work and do not the introspect. If they introspect regarding to their work, they never hurt his life and never destroy his life. Okay. Now the explanation of the poem is finished. Now we will be talking about the figure of speech of this stanza. First of all, here, sudden strangeness. Sudden strangeness, I have already told you, if in the same line of the poem, the vowel sound is repeated in different two words, so there is a alliteration. Alliteration, and also here in the sudden strangeness, to other figure of speech is also used metaphor and personification. Metaphor and personification. And in this line, the word without is repeated. And also, when in the line of the poem, if two same word is repeated, then the repetition, the figure of speech, repetition is used. And here the word used without engines. That means no engine will be worked. So if you will be start your vehicles, then the working of the whole engine, not only it's represent the only one part of the your vehicles, machine. So here the figure of speech in the engine, here the figure of speech snap dog. Snap dog is used, and also in the cold sea, here the figure of speech transferred epithet is used, because it is just same as just like the personification. But when any quality, any adjective is used just like a noun, then we use the transferred epithet. And I hope no other figure of speech is used in this poem. And also here you can also write the his, her, hand. Here is the vowel sound is repeated. So once again you can write alliteration. Alliteration. Okay students, now your explanation have finished. So we will discuss about the moral and essence of the poem. Basically, the essence of the poem is based on the introspection and retrospection. But if we will be talk about the message of the poem, if we will be talk about the message of the poem, the poem keeping quiet leaves a message of universal brotherhood and peace. It urges people to including that towards the environment. The poem Keeping Quiet gives a message of universal brotherhood and peace. It urges people to including that towards the environment. Okay, now you can take a screenshot.